Hello and welcome back. Now if you're subscribed to this channel, which I hope you all are, then you may have subscribed perhaps due to the series where I looked at Bruce Lee's films. That's a series which really did bolster this channel, which, for one thing, I'm glad it did so, but there's always a bit more milk you can squeeze out of a particular cow. As today we look at Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. Anyone who's seen this film will tell you that this is not really a straightforward biopic of the life and times of Bruce Lee. This film is more of a— wow, this chair is very squeaky. I think I'll stand for this. This film is not really a biopic, a straightforward A to B foretelling of what happened in Bruce Lee's life. It's more of a dramatization, almost like something like the more modern biopics of, say, Bohemian Rhapsody or Rocket Man, of where they tell you a dramatized version of the events of a life story. It's more of a telling of the story of the legend of Bruce Lee. You know how we've talked before about a legend versus a real person? It's very much in that vein, with the fight scene we'll discuss today being seminal in that same context. Now with the understanding, I've not actually seen this film from A to B, unfortunately, so there are certain parts of it which I will require more context for. Perhaps when I get some free time I'll be able to watch the film in full. But if you guys can let me know of some of the context that I might be missing in the comments below, as you guys have done before with some other videos I've looked at, that would be great. Thank you very much in advance. So the fight scene we're looking at today, I think this is the last one in the film, where Bruce Lee fights off this demon. It starts off in what looks like the Hall of Mirrors scene from Enter the Dragon, and you can see already he's got the scarring from, or the marks from that film. And that was the last film that Bruce Lee filmed. So the theory that this demon is the Grim Reaper, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't this demon follow him throughout the film, like follow him throughout his career? So maybe there's a further element which is added in of Bruce's feelings of insecurity, or feelings of not wanting to be mediocre. I think, as if I'm remembering correctly, Bruce struggled with feelings of mediocrity or feelings of not wanting to be forgotten, and that drove him to push himself as far as he did, and probably is one of the most contributing factors to what led to his unfortunate passing, the fact that he pushed himself too hard. With this Grim Reaper then showing him his own grave, and it becomes this confrontation of his own mortality. And it leads to this question of, is it a fair price? Because yes, he does become this seminal figure in martial arts, in sports, in films, as this great figure, the dragon, you know, the fist of fury. But in the process, he loses his life at such a young age and doesn't get to see what that leads to. He doesn't get to see his legacy unfold. There's an argument that if he hadn't passed away, maybe he wouldn't have that legacy as well. There are a whole slew of questions that are wrapped up in with it. Shout out as well to Jason Scott Lee, who is playing Bruce Lee here. There are some points, there are some clips I've seen of this film where it looks as though he's playing it more like Jackie Chan.
Very good shadow boxing. Chinks can jump real high, huh? I'm Bruce Lee.
But you can tell he has those dramatic chops for it. So it's a catch-22 where maybe he wasn't 100% right for playing Bruce Lee one-to-one, but he was good at playing this dramatic Bruce Lee, this dramatized portrayal of the character of Bruce Lee, not playing the man of Bruce Lee himself. It's a catch-22, but for what he does it well. If this were a fictional story completely, would this be like Christmas Carol, where he's confronted by his own mortality and realises that no, he doesn't want this, he needs to find another way, but that's not what happened. And as the demon turns on Brandon, it's a funny thing, this, because this film was filmed in 1992 but didn't release until May 1993, about 2 months after Brandon Lee died. So did this predict this Grim Reaper coming for Brandon? Did that predict it? Or was it just a dark coincidence? Or was this added in post Brandon's passing? I wouldn't be surprised if this added credence to this theory of there being a family curse around Bruce and Brandon Lee. Whew, heavy. That's heavy. But just as an aside, why is this demon dressed like a samurai when Bruce Lee was of Chinese origin? Am I just being dim here and thinking this is something else? Maybe I'm wrong here. Oh, there's his sidekick, his famous jumping sidekick. There we go. But on a thematic level, you see that as he takes up these nunchucks, it could be saying one of two things. Either it's Bruce trying to be defiant and say, I will not die, even though we know that's what happens. Or saying, my body will die, but my legend, my legacy will live on through my son, and through what I have done, and through those that will remember me. It very well could have been the original intention that the whole living on through Brandon thing, that could have been the intention of the filmmakers when they made it, but then as time happens, that kind of, yeah. Whoops. Bearing in mind that this is a film which is a dramatised version of actual events, but is this still a good film showcasing the legend of Bruce Lee? It showcases the legend of Bruce Lee, that's for certain. It showcases in the broad strokes the things that Bruce stood for, the things which Bruce feared, the things which Bruce carried into his career, the things that he cared about. In the slew of, and as I say, it's very similar in large marks to the more modern biopics we're getting now of celebrities, of people like Elton John, of Queen, there's one of Michael Jackson coming out next year, which I'm actually interested in taking a peek at. Now I'm wondering, could there either be a resurgence of this film in particular, or maybe there'll be an attempt to make this again. I wouldn't suspect that there would be an attempt to make this again, but I wouldn't mind seeing a biopic of Jackie Chan's life. That would be interesting, going into details about all the injuries that Jackie Chan sustained over his career, the ups and downs, how he moved into more of his style of filmmaking. That would be interesting. Would there be an audience though for it, aside from just the niche martial arts crowd? Maybe there is. Jackie Chan could be one of those figures that's well known enough for it to be pulled off, but let me know what you think. Let us know down below in the comment section what you think of Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. What you think of these style of biopics overall. And just comment down below what you think of, well, anything in general. If you want to write about what your opinion is on Jammy Dodgers, feel free. But until next time, thank you for watching, and peace be with you.